I think for anything to really thrive, I'm going to put this squarely on the shoulders of, if it's an executive team, the CEO. I'm going to put it on whoever is at the top of the food chain of this particular team, whatever level you are. And that leader has to model this behavior. They have to not only say it's important, but they have to do it. They need to pick up the phone and start investing time and getting to know their colleagues and being vulnerable. And I've said vulnerability at least 2 or 3 times. It would be really a complete miss if I said, hey, tell me what's going on in your house. Are you okay? And then didn't share. It's almost like I'm prying. But what if I said, hey, Brandon, listen, I don't know how you're doing right now, but I just want to tell you, we've got 3 young kids in our house, and homeschool has been a nightmare, and my wife just lost her job, and we're struggling right now in the age of COVID. How are you doing? I am much more likely to get an honest answer. So to get back to your point, I think it starts with the leader of this particular team. They need to show the vulnerability. They need to reach out and create these relationships, or foster them, or reinvest in them. Everyone will say, oh, I've got relationships with my colleagues on the team. I know those guys. I know them. But that was, maybe you're thinking about the way that it used to exist pre-COVID. What have you been doing since COVID? Have you been making the same level of investments? And in some pockets and cases, we know it does exist. But I think it starts with, how do we get these relationships back on track? And I put it on the shoulders of the executive in charge, just to set the tone and start it, and really encourage it. The other thing you can do is have no business agendas. Hey, listen, we're going to get together today. And I'm very fond of sharing this idea from Keith Ferrazzi. He calls it sweet and sour. I think I've heard it called roses and thorns, where at the beginning of a meeting, you do a lightning round, and the leader who called the meeting starts it. And you basically ask everyone to share one thing in your life that is sweet, or a rose. What is going well in your life right now? Just say one thing. And then right after that, what is your sour? What is your thorn? What's not going well? And if the leader starts with vulnerability and does the lightning round, you're going to learn about what's going on in your colleagues' lives. Now, as a sort of an add-on here, the leader that hears these things needs to be listening intently, because there may be something that comes up they need to probe and look into later. But I think that's another way that we could start to create a real conversation about what's going on in our lives, and that's going to help relationships.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, well, Randy, we've got some good actions here that we can start to take. I like that you narrowed in on the role of the leader of the team. So absolutely, a lot of the stuff can be for senior teams, but some of the stuff, a lot of this stuff can be applied to any team. And there's a role, though, that leader of the team plays to set the tone.